If you want to be notified when Breakfast Club videos go up, remember to subscribe and click the bell.
You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
Hey YouTube, Nathan Brandon Masters here, and I was asked by a YouTuber, Wee Woman TV, to make a video about why it would be better to have your own business versus working for someone else. And I guess I should start off by saying nothing particularly makes one thing better than the other. It all really kind of depends on what you're looking for. A lot of people prefer the stability of a job, the stability of having, of knowing when a paycheck is coming, and being able to break down their expenses and say, okay, I know this week I'll pay my rent, this week I will buy food, this week I will do X, Y, Z. Basically, you have a schedule down when you will be able to pay money, or when you will be able to buy the things that you need. Again, rent, electric, gas. Those things being the major three things you want to know. You want to make sure get paid. Phone bill, utilities, basically. The thing about starting your own business is that, especially when you first start one, you don't necessarily know when that's going to happen. And, just to, I guess, preface this by saying I'm a person who believes everyone should have something on the side that they're doing to make a little bit extra money. Whether like me, I have the YouTube videos. You have all types of things. A lot of people do arts and crafts that they sell, various types of publishing, and a lot of things people do to bring in extra money. Even just a secondary part-time job or something like that. But I think it's you should have something that you're doing that's specifically something that you enjoy, that you can make a business out of. And I think you should be doing that, of course, while you're working your day job, or while you have some type of other stability, versus just going out and trying to start a business, unless you can get a decent-sized loan or something like that. But I guess the benefits to starting your own business would be that any headway that you make, anything that happens, it happens to you. You get the financial benefit of it. Obviously, your average business, if you're working for someone else, they're getting the benefit of your work. And I mean, like, if you're going to a 9-to-5 job, you're going there to, get together so a group of people can work, so that a person up here can make all the money. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. That's how the system works. You have people who come up with ideas, and then they make jobs for other people to work in, make the money so that they can, make their money, and so on and so on. And I don't have a problem with that. But personally, I would rather be the person at the top than the person at the bottom, or the person even in the middle. And especially if you're like me, where you are your only employee, everything that comes in from that business, if it succeeds, it comes to you. The thing about it is, every loss that you take is also yours as well. And every decision is yours. You have to decide what work gets farmed out. What are you going to do? What someone else is going to do. In the last 2 films that I shot, one I'm working on now, one I'm just kind of finishing up, and that being the perfect letter and Crashing Darkness. And the perfect letter, I basically shot that whole film. Now there are certain sections that I didn't shoot, like maybe I think about 2 or 3 scenes that I didn't shoot, and there's the stuff that Kelsey Zakowski and her team out in LA shot, and and that was basically her own scenes, scenes that she was directing and putting together out there. So you have that. Those are things that you kind of have to do. You have to learn everything. You have to learn whatever the business is that you're starting. You have to learn every facet of it, versus when you're working for someone, you just have to learn what you need to know. So, and I'm just going to use McDonald's as as an example. If you're working at McDonald's and your job is to cook the food or even work the cash registers, you need to know the things that you need to know to come in and cook the food and work the cash registers. And I'm not necessarily sure that the people who work the cash registers actually know how to cook the food. I'm kind of sure. Yeah, I think that there's some crossover there where you know how to cook the food as well as work the registers and stuff. I'm not sure about that, but I think there's some crossover there. But the managerial stuff you don't know. If you're doing your own business, you have to know, particularly again, if you're your own employee, you have to know, okay, I need to know how to cook the burgers. I need to know how to work the register. I need to know how to do the managerial stuff. I need to know how to do the bookkeeping. I need to know how to do the taxes. I need to know when I do need to hire somebody. I need to know when I can afford to hire somebody. I need to know how much work I can do, how much work I can say, how much work, how much is too much work. Let's just say you get really successful and a lot of people want to work with you. How much work can you take on? All that stuff that you would need to know if you're starting your own business. And of course, the difference being, again, if you're going to work for somebody, you just need to know a certain amount of things. So I guess those are some of the benefits, and of course, the risks are all yours. If the business succeeds, you make whatever you make. If it crashes and burns, then you take that. You take that crashing and burning, and hopefully you learn from it, and hopefully it doesn't crash and burn to the point where it wipes you out financially. And just a little lesson with us. If you've been following our little drama, we had a film here called Wages of Sin, which I just uploaded. And as a matter of fact, I just uploaded the trailer for the sequel to Wages of Sin 2, which is we're calling it Special Tactics. But Wages of Sin was our biggest. It was our most viewed film. It made the most money on this site. I think there was maybe one time when Epitaph Bread and Salt made more money than Wages of Sin. Maybe I'd say maybe for about maybe a month or two, no more than 3 months. Wages of Sin was like always our moneymaker. So last month, or may have been a month before last now at this point, but yeah, I think it was in like February or something. But it was pulled from YouTube. They pulled it, and I think I finally got some clue as to why they did, and it had something to do with the metadata or something in the description or something like that. But they did pull it, and I didn't really understand why. And when they pulled it, that took a substantial amount of money from me. So the little bit of money that I had coming in from, and make no mistake, you don't get a ton of money from you. A lot of people think that, you look at PewDiePie, you look at Shane Dawson, you look at Onision, or any of those big YouTubers who are making a lot of money, and everybody say, "Well, I want to be like that person." Well, that person probably has to do a lot of things that you have to question: are you willing to do? And going back to the video that I made about focusing your ideas, which is actually where I was actually asked to do this video. You have to have that discipline. You have to sit down every day and say, what days am I going to make videos? If you're talking if you're talking YouTube, what days am I going to make videos? What days am I going to location scout if you're going to make movies? What days am I going to do all of these things? And you have to sit down and take it as a business. If you're doing your own business, it's very easy to say, well, today I'm going to sleep in, or today I'm not going to really do anything. You have to say, I'm going to do this thing and do it. And I think everybody kind of starting out has that. Everybody starting out has that have that problem where they say, okay, I'm going to do this, and then they procrastinate and it doesn't get done. Like the past few days, I haven't uploaded any videos. I've actually been working, but I still would have preferred to have uploaded some videos, because as a YouTuber, particularly a guy who is trying to start a business based around YouTube and based around my other creative pursuits, it all goes hand in hand. As a person that's starting it, I do need that discipline that says, okay, now you need to do this. And with me, it's very easy to start on something, and if I start editing, then that's what I'm going to be probably doing for the whole day. If I start, like I've been working on a perfect letter, like I told you, I've been working on that for like the better half of a year or so. If I start working on the perfect letter, I'm probably going to want to continue working on the perfect letter for the rest of, that day. Or if I start, like when I did the trailer, just the recent trailer, I worked on that trailer probably for a good, I worked on it for hours on end to get it to where I wanted it, watched it over and over, shot footage for it, took all, the needed footage from the stuff that we'd already shot, and this was just for the trailer to, to have this something to show, to say, okay, this film is coming out and it's going to be badass. This is going to be something that's going to really get in there, and really, fans of this kind of cinema, you're really going to like this. Check out this trailer. So, whatever I start doing that day is usually what I'm going to end up doing. And I mean, again, going back to people like Good Mythical Morning, the guys over there, I can't believe I forget their name. And some of the other people, again, who are the bigger YouTubers, they are consistent. So that's one of those things about having your own. Well, I guess even if you're working for anyone, you have to be consistent. You have to show up at a certain time. You do your work. You take lunch at a certain time. You leave at a certain time. Again, same thing is true with owning your own business. You get some leeway, but you still have to get the work done. So, like yesterday, I uploaded 2 videos, 2 stock videos, stock footage videos, and today I'm doing this one. Tomorrow I hope to do another one, to kind of make up for the lost time, if you will. So, those are really the differences. I think it's not as different as you would think. Having a job is not as stable as you would think it is, especially in the modern economy. Owning your own business is not in any way stable. And the thing about it is, you have to do everything for yourself. If you get sick or something happens, when you own a business, you have to have things set up for that. You have to have money saved back. You have to have good insurance, things of that nature. You have to keep all that in mind. So, in the end, I don't necessarily think there are any. I can't really say one is better or one is worse. I can only say it depends on you and what you want to do, what your dreams are, what your goals are, and whether you want to be paid, I guess paid by a person at the top, or whether you want to be paid by fans or people who use your service. Either way, you're going to be paid by have to be paid by somebody. And one way you're supposed to get a set amount at a set time consistently, whereas with a business that you own, you don't necessarily know that. You hope you're going to make enough to make your to make your bills and to pay all the bills you need to pay. And if you can do that consistently, and it's something that you really like doing, then I think you're doing good. And I think you're doing what you want to do, and you're probably having a ball. So I would say keep it up if you're able to do that. So, all right, guys, that's it. I hope that made some kind of sense. And you can leave your comments below, and what you think about it, and what you think about the differences between owning a business and having your own, or working for someone and owning a business. And you can just say what you think, or did I miss anything, or just how you feel about that. So that's it, guys. Take it easy. Hasta.